busy people, and welcome back to my vlog. I wasn't actually planning to record a vlog this morning, but I was asked two very important questions, and so I thought that they were worth taking the time to explain. Also, I had a very frustrating run-in with a medical receptionist, and this is how I'm going to vent. So let's get started. The first question that I was asked is, what do you do if you are out in the wild and somebody has a seizure in front of you? This person being alone and you not being a medical professional. So, head injury and choking are the two things that you really need to worry about. So if they are in a position where they're not on the floor, what you want to do is try to get them on the floor safely. There's not as much flailing about. It's mostly just like a tightening and like a jerking motion. So if you are someone who can physically take somebody from, say, a chair, or I've had a seizure up against a wall and like managed to hook my arm, some weird way around a pole so that I was literally having a seizure while standing, then you want to try to get them to the ground so that they, can't, slam their head against anything, can't then fall while in the middle of the seizure. And you don't want anything around their mouths. If they have something in their mouths, I would not recommend trying to remove it, especially if it's like gum or some kind of food. Choking is a very important concern, but also you don't want to lose a finger, so don't put your hands anywhere in their mouths. If you can, turn them on their side. You don't want them on their back. Contrary to popular belief, you can't actually swallow your tongue, but stuff comes up from your lungs sometimes. You cough, or it's like a sometimes, or your mouth will just be really wet. I don't know why. It's just a thing. And you don't want that person to like aspirate on whatever liquid or whatever anything is in their mouths, basically. So on the floor if possible, on their side if possible. And other than that, just note the time. Note how long the seizure has happened. Sometimes, personally, for my seizures, I will have one and then I'll like come to and look like I'm gonna be okay, and I'll start talking or communicating or something, and then I'll have another one. I don't actually remember this like in between period where I seem like I'm fine. That's just, I guess, my brain pretending that everything's okay. So if there's any kind of lapses, any kind of pauses in between, how long it lasts, just note things like that and do your best to get out of the way. Like I said, most injuries during a seizure happen when falling. If there's like a head trauma, that's what they're really concerned about, and choking, which I've never had a problem with, thank goodness. So, boom, that's what you do. Yay! When you have a neurological disorder, when you have any kind of consciousness disorders, one of the hardest parts, at least for me, when I go out and I'm by myself, which we'll talk about why that is necessary at another date, on another time, on another video. I can talk. But it's the fear that if you are put into that incredibly vulnerable situation, what's going to happen? Are the people around you going to, call an ambulance? Are they going to try to help you? Are they going to steal your jacket and leave you on the side of the road? You have no idea, and there's no way you can control that. So that creates a little bit of anxiety just throughout the world. But I feel like the more people who know what to do in the situation, the better things will will be for everyone. Yay. That being said, if someone has a seizure in front of you and they do have a caretaker, they do have somebody who knows what's happening, listen to that person. Don't try to make yourself more, aggressive in that person's care than necessary, because I've had it where people haven't listened to my caretakers and, they've done things that were superfluous to my care at the point. And I've woken up and been surrounded by lawn chairs or like everybody's roped off, and then there's a lot of anxiety, and that makes it worse for me because, one, I am never going back to this establishment. People will definitely remember me. And two, it's just, I try not to get embarrassed because the way my brain works is the way my brain works. I am valid in society, just the same as, if somebody has an asthma attack and they need to use their inhaler. I also have asthma. But, so I try really hard not to get embarrassed, but it is embarrassing. It's causing a scene, everybody looking at you. It's, I don't need that in my life, but it happens. And when it happens at the grocery store that I go to almost every day, I have to suck it up and go again and just listen to the caretakers is basically what I'm saying. So that's it for that. That's what you do during a seizure as a bystander, as a good person. And also I do want to point out that the person who you help with this information, the person whose seizure you safeguard, they won't get a chance to thank you unless you work at a place and they can go back and find you. If you're just a random person at a bank, they will probably never even know your name. But the knowledge that somebody helped, that somebody did something and knew what to do and, cared enough to do so instead of, continuing on their day, that's invaluable. It gives me personally, it gives me faith in humanity. It gives me the courage to be like, you know what, I'm a 31-year-old adult. I'm gonna go down the street and get my bread by myself. Because I know that more often than not, 99% of the time, there is somebody who will step up and, be a safety net when I can't express that I need help. So, yay! Double thumbs up. I'm so lame. Okay, so the second question that I got asked today was about self-advocating. And this applies to more than just those who are chronically ill. This applies to everyone. The healthcare industry in America is it's doing its best. I don't like to bash my government. I don't like to say negative things because there's enough negativity in the world. We don't need to put more out there. It's negativity's got it. But it can be a struggle to get what you need when you need it. Right now, you guys are gonna learn my whole medical history. And if you have any idea what this is, please leave a comment. Please say something, because my doctors are like, I have no idea. They're just trying anything they can. And that is what they're supposed to do, and I appreciate them. So right now, I have an issue where if I get too worked up, if I put my hands over my head for too long, if I'm doing the dishes too long, my arms will go completely numb. Or it's not numb, it's pins and needles. My hands will be on pins and needles. My legs have been doing this for ages, but my legs are completely messed up because of POTS, so we just disregard any weird things that they do. but I will have complete weakness in my arms and I'll have to drop them, or, they'll drop on their own. It's not like I have a choice in it. And I've been working with my cardiologist to kind of try to assess what this is and what this problem is. Everybody's assuming it's cardiovascular in nature. Actually, my primary thinks it's a problem with my lungs, so we're trying a steroid for that, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, these cardio appointments are incredibly important, and with everything going on in the world right now, everybody's a little antsy about, healthcare and keeping safe, which they definitely should be. Please stay at home, guys. I get sick like that. I don't care, if your grandma was sick 3 weeks ago. If you come and hang out with me, I'm going to get sick. That's what's going to happen. We just accept it and we move on. So when I was returning my monitor, I informed the individuals behind the counter that I had the flu 2 weeks prior. By then I had already seen them once, and I only had the monitor for 5 days. So I was cleared. I hadn't had a fever the entire time that I had the monitor, but I wanted to let them know that I had Lysol'd the packaging and the object itself. And they were concerned and tried to reschedule my whole appointment. And this is months in advance. We had already been planning this and planning the follow-ups. And so I obviously was not pleased because, yes, I was sick, but I followed all the procedures, all of the health consciousness that I could. Yes, I just made that a noun. It's fine. And I hadn't had a fever in, 10 days beforehand. I was good, but they decided that, no, we're not going to see you tomorrow. My appointment is tomorrow. And immediately it got into kind of an argument of, hey, these are the steps that I followed. This is the timeline. Please use some common sense. I need this appointment. I need to know what's going on in my body. And bless her heart, she was like, you don't get to decide these things. We decide whether or not you can come in, all these other things. And I said, no. I am an informed patient, and this is what needs to be done. And so the question became for, I guess, I don't want to call her a younger spoonie, but how do you do that? And the answer is by knowing your It's not easy. And again, medical professionals are heroes, literally, especially people on the front lines, people at the desks, paramedics, EMTs, things like that. They are literally saving lives. I've had, pharmacists. I had a pharmacist catch a drug complication that could have literally killed me. Never be rude to them. Never talk down to them. Never gripe at them for something that the doctor did. But do know what your rights are. Know what you need and when you need to say, okay, I can come in, 2 weeks later. It was 6 weeks, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know where the COVID situation is going to be in 6 weeks. I could not wait 6 weeks. I need to know the test results from the monitor test. You guys can see I still have the burns from the little sticker things because they always irritate my skin. It takes forever for them to heal, but that's neither here nor there either. I get sidetracked a lot. When you are a spoonie, when you are somebody who has to go to the doctor, and even when you're not somebody who has to go to the doctor, know that the system is not set up where you are the end product user. You are going to have to fight. You are going to have to say calmly, preferably, this is what I need. and this is why I need it. You're gonna have to know what's in your medical chart and what medications you're taking, what you've tried before, what has worked, what hasn't worked, what your plans are. You are gonna have to do research and advocate for yourself. If you have a doctor who won't listen to you, either find a new doctor, which is not always possible, or make them listen to you. It's exhausting. It's so tiring, especially if you have, you know, a comorbidity that creates chronic fatigue already. It can be like mind-numbingly hard, but you can do it. And the fact of the matter is you have to. If you want answers, if you want the care that you deserve, sometimes you have to go to somebody and say, look, this is not working. And I'm not an aggressive person. I'm not an aggressive person usually, but you grow that skin and it's not optional. You have to. So yes, so that's that. This video is getting super long, so let me just say, I love the questions. I hope that I'll get more. I hope that I'll be able to answer them. I don't know everything either. I'm out here just living life and being bad at it, but hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, not only you, the watcher, my busy people, but, other people who you will interact with in the future. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate your interest in issues that directly impact my life. Oh no, this is so terrible. I'm gonna upload it just like that. I'm not gonna take that out. And I hope that you guys have great green days. I think that's gonna be my sign out. I'm working on a sign out. Like, I feel like it should be something very me. And I like green tea and I like green plants. And I like green blankets. Have great green days. That sounds so wholesome. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Have a great green day. Oh man, I took something that was wholesome in mine and made it immediately super weird. It's okay. Alright, look for videos about stuff. Ooh, and my bullet journal. I have a bullet journal that I bought weeks ago and I still haven't recorded the thing for it, but I'm going to. It's happening. It is, I promise. Today. Maybe. Goodbye, guys.